Hello YouTube! I hope you're all having a wonderful day. I'm here with another cosplay video. This one's very special to me and very different from cosplay videos I've done in the past. Today, instead of reviewing a cosplay that comes from a store or like mass-produced thing, I'm talking about my very first cosplay commission. Now, I'm sure you kind of see her behind my head, hanging up on the wall over there, but this cosplay is Flayn from Fire Emblem Three Houses, and it is made by the talented, incredible, amazing VV Violet Cosplay. I will put their handle here on the screen, and I'll put links to their pages in the description, and I'm sure I'll mention them many more times. But before I get into anything else, please follow Violet because they are the coolest person in the world. So, like I said, most of the cosplay videos I have here on my YouTube channel are reviews from cosplay stores. Part of why I do this is because when I was first getting into cosplay and like looking at these cosplay stores, it's very overwhelming and very scary to be like, I'm gonna give you all this money for this cosplay and have no idea if it's actually the same thing as this picture, or if it's something totally different, or if it's gonna come as a good quality like I think it will, or if it's gonna be really bad. That's something that I really struggled with when I was first getting into the world of cosplay myself as like a young girl. So me making videos on these type of cosplay stores is something that I'm really happy that I can do for other cosplayers who are getting into this world now, who can look up reviews and like, sure, you can look up a picture can be very helpful, but seeing something in video, seeing detail shots, seeing it move around and the way the light reflects off it when it's moving, that can be very different and very helpful for when you're looking at mass-produced cosplays. And I think I've been pretty open about like when a cosplay store is really good and accurate to what their listing is online and when they haven't been so good, when there's things off. I usually try to point out mistakes or problems I find with certain cosplays. This is also why I do things like buying cosplays from super cheap places like Wish or some of those ones that I've gotten from the Binary Taobao agent, especially for young people looking to buy cosplays or build up their cosplay wardrobe. Seeing something super cheap that sounds too good to be true, a lot of people can fall into that, and I like to show like you really get what you pay for with these things, which is kind of the big lesson here with this video about cosplay commissions. You seriously really get what you pay for when you order cosplays. Now, there can be a lot of benefits to both sides if you're getting something pre-made or something made custom for you, and I kind of want to go over kind of the differences, both good and bad for both sides, for people who haven't ever commissioned something before. I guess first I'll talk about pre-made cosplays and the pros and cons of those. So, pros. They're very affordable, like very, very affordable. Pros, sometimes they can like be much faster. Pros, it's easier to find specific things if you're looking for something. Now, cons of these type of pre-made cosplays, the quality is not great most of the time. I mean, sometimes you don't know what you're getting. That's why I try to do videos on shops like that to show examples. Cons, most of them come from China and can take forever to ship. So if you're looking for something for a convention right away, like most of the time you're not going to get something if you're like, I got 2 weeks till this convention. Most of the time you're not going to get something that fast, and that has nothing to do with the costume length of time to make it. That more has to do with the time of shipping something. So now to talk about some cosplay commission things, some pros. The quality is amazing. Like really, it does depend on who you're commissioning to make your cosplay. I know many horror stories of people that have not commissioned the best person and not received the quality of cosplay that they were hoping to get. But that's why you do your research on these things, the same way you would do research on a store before you ordered from them. But assuming you've got a good commissioner and a good artist, quality is so good. Not just in things like the fit in the sewing, but also the material quality. It's like a world of difference between the two. Now, besides the major difference in quality, you are also helping support an independent artist and fellow cosplayer usually. this is something that really means a lot to me with this, was like I was so happy to be supporting like my friend who made this cosplay as opposed to like a company or a corporation or whatever. And by commissioning a person to make your cosplay for you, you're helping keep like the cosplay community alive. You're helping another cosplayer live off of their art or their creations, their hobbies, their passions. And that's just huge. That's so important. And since I touched on the topic of shipping with the last thing with the pre-made cosplays, shipping with a commissioned cosplay can be very different. Still, if you're ordering from someone who is in a different country, it can still take longer. But a lot of times it can be a lot quicker if like they're closer to you or something. Or in other cases, if you're attending the same convention, they can just physically give it to you there and then you don't even have to pay for shipping, which is also pretty nice. Another thing with commissioning is that you can just make friends. Like Violet is someone who I followed and like we were kind of like internet mutuals, like we both followed each other. But I feel like after this, like we've talked so much since starting this whole process, and it's just like, you can meet people and that's really fun. You also get to show off someone else's work with like your photos or whatever, which is really fun. It is important to always credit your commissioners when you are wearing your cosplay. Like if I post a picture in this Flayn cosplay, I'll tag Violet in the picture, but I'll also like in the description write like cosplay made by Phoebe Violet Cosplay. That's very important to do because that is part of what drives traffic to their page and can help them generate more sales and more commissions for them. Another pro to having a cosplay commissioned is that you can make it of any character. Sometimes it can be hard if you want to buy a cosplay and like no one's selling a cosplay of this random obscure character that you really love because it's like an obscure character or whatever. Around the time that I was starting the commission process with Violet, there was no one anywhere selling much for Fire Emblem cosplays. There was a couple Violets, there was a couple of 3 house leaders school uniforms. Besides that, there was no mass-produced thing selling any Fire Emblem cosplays of 3 houses at all. So it was really exciting to be like, hey, I really want to cosplay Flayn. I don't know if I have the skill set to make this kind of cosplay, but I know you do. So working with someone to create that thing that I really want to be. Now, to touch briefly on the cons of a commissioned cosplay, the main thing that can be the con for most people is the price. They are much pricier than pre-made store-bought cosplays, but for good reason. Like I said, the quality is there, the higher quality materials, they're making something just for your body to your exact measurements for you. And like not just materials, but also the labor cost. It isn't like cosplay commissioners should be charging those prices, but for a lot of people, especially younger people, those prices can be out of their range, which is why a lot of younger people usually will look toward the cosplay stores. And then I would say probably the only other con to a cosplay commission is if you haven't done your research on your commissioner. Sometimes they don't do good stuff, but I've only really seen those mentioned in like horror stories, it's not a common occurrence. But if you don't do your research and you commission like a bad artist, then you'll get something bad, but that's more on the buyer to be doing their research the same way they would with a cosplay store or any other thing they were buying. Okay, I think I've basically covered everything I wanted to touch on with that. So I'll get into this Flayn cosplay, which I love so much. It's one of my favorite cosplays that I own out of all of them. It's so good and made such a big difference. Like I said, this was my first time ever having a cosplay commissioned by someone else. In the past, I've either made my cosplays or bought them online. So this was all kind of new to me. But it was such like a good experience. Violet was very easy to work with. They had a nice form to fill out all the information about the character and stuff like that. They gave me a quote. So I got on to emailing with Violet once we got like the price quote all figured out and like picked out some different options of like how we wanted to do things. Violet was very communicative in giving me different options and leaving the choices up to me of like, how do you want this to look? This is your cosplay in the end. Like, what do you want it to be like? And I gave my measurements, and like one thing that I really loved about working with Violet was seeing the way that they had all of these like progress pictures and progress videos that they were posting, and just seeing the way this was coming together. Because like they posted one that was like, I think like, oh, I just got the fabric, and I'm like, ah, that's my fabric for my cosplay, ah, I'm so excited, when like they hadn't even like done anything really yet, but I was like, ah, so excited. So I love seeing the process of how this all came together, and also it was kind of a good like learning thing for me, because I'm not huge into sewing nice things like this. So seeing like the videos and clips and stuff of like, here's how it's all coming together, I'm like, okay, that's really cool, and I can kind of start to understand how these things work too. Whenever there was things that were like slight problems, there wasn't really any problems, but if there was things that came up, Violet would message me and be like, hey, what do you want me to do here? And like that was really nice as the person buying and wearing the cosplay to be like, here's what I want this, or here's what I would want this thing to be like if I had this problem. Like one thing that they mentioned was Flayn has the tall like collar piece of her dress, and they made it as a separate thing so that like if my makeup rubbed off on it, it would be much easier to clean that piece and then like put it back on underneath it, as opposed to like having to clean the whole thing differently. Okay, I think that's all I really have to say about like the process of like the before of this cosplay, but now I want to jump in. I'll take this down from where it's hanging on the wall behind me and show you some close-ups and details and stuff. I'm just, it's so good. I'm so happy with this. Okay, I'm gonna go show it to you, and then I'll put it on so you can see it in action and everything, and so good. Okay, here I am back down here with my cosplay, and here we go. I have it on a little hanger here, and so good. So let me figure out what details I want to go over first. The details, I guess. I don't know what I would call this word. The details are all hand painted on, and like, can we just appreciate how clean these lines are, how perfect this all looks? It's so perfect. And that like these down here on the bottom of the skirt are the same way. Here, let me just, there you go. Now you can see it. Like, so good, so talented. See, this is why I don't sew things. I don't know the names of things. I'm like, the thing, you know? The thing, it looks good. Trim, that's what it's called. The trim. Yeah. Anyways, the trim is really good, and it goes all the way around. There's the little like dangly thingy that's on Flayn's dress, and that goes all the way to the bottom down there. It's also here on these sleeves, which have perfect bows. I love how they keep the shape like this. Something I always don't like in cosplays that I've bought online is that the bows kind of like are floppy, or they're just like pinned on with like a little pin, where like it just, everything about this feels so much more sturdy because the quality is there. So it's like, it's such a world of difference. Okay, so here's the front. Like I said, this neck piece is detachable. It's not attached to the dress, so I can easily take it out. Things like this thing here is from the Dangerous Ladies. They are another kind of cosplay, I don't know if you would call it commissions or store. They are an artist, and they make things for cosplays. Like, they don't really make the whole outfit, but they make the things, like this thing, or like Violet's like neck thingy. See, this is again the words. The things. They make like 3D printed and resin things. They also have like 3D print files if you want to print it yourself. They have things like weapons and props and like accessories, and some custom fabrics on there too. They have a lot more than just Fire Emblem stuff, but they're kind of booming with the Fire Emblem movement right now. They're just so much Fire Emblem, not just Three Houses, but the other games too. But this thing here is from them. So I ordered that separately and attached it. And that also, once we go onto the back, is these here and the hair clips that Flayn wears. But like this, again, painted. There's a zipper that goes down to like the skirt, and it's not done up on here because it's just on a hook, but there's a little like hook on here for the top. The bow, look at that. Oh, I'm not tall enough. Look at this. The bow is so big and fluffy, and like I said, it keeps its shape because it's sturdy. And then when you come in here, it like pins onto the dress so that like you can do the zipper because it goes down past there, and then close the bow over the zipper. Flayn's big fluffy sleeves. I love them. They're so cozy. And like Violet did a lot for me as like the person wearing this, of like if I wanted this elastic in here tighter or looser, they left this thing open here so I could adjust it myself if I wanted to do that. It was actually perfect for me, so I didn't need to adjust anything. But like they do things like that for me to be able to like make it the best for me when I'm wearing it. Let me back up, try to get more of this in the skirt. There's the like gold layer underneath that's all pleated. And then let me get to some of the sewing, because Violet's sewing is so like, I guess I don't know how much you'll be able to see it because it's all black, but Violet's sewing is so clean. There's like basically every single cosplay I've ever gotten from a cosplay store, no matter what, if it's the best or the worst, has always had some kind of loose thread somewhere. There is nothing like that on this cosplay here. This is like flawless, impeccable sewing. And here, this, can you see this? I don't know, I'm having a hard time showing the sewing because it's black, so it's not like, it doesn't like stand out like that much. And then the skirt is so flowy and fluffy. It's so fun to like spin around in a big circle, which I'm sure I'll show you once I put this on to show you it being worn. And like I said, all of this is made exactly to my measurement, so it fits me perfectly, like perfectly, and I love that about it so much. I'll take some close-up clips of details things while I'm not like holding it and waving it around so you can actually see stuff and like the detail. But yeah, let me go put this on. For this particular cosplay of Flayn, the things that I had to do for myself as a cosplayer was, first of all, Flayn wears dark tights under her dress. I did not realize this until after Katsucon because I just wasn't paying attention. So I don't have those, but it's just like leggings or tights or whatever under the dress. And I just feel silly for not actually paying that much attention to one of my favorite characters to realize that she has that. Besides that, the boots, which Violet did say if I wanted them to make, that like that could be done. I had boots that worked already. I got a petticoat to wear under this to make the skirt all fluffy and even more flowy. And like the Dangerous Ladies kit, that was just easily attaching those things onto here, and the hair clips, and then styling the wig. So really like this was the majority, basically the entire cosplay. The things I had to do was just like minor accessory things or whatever. I just blown away by Violet's talent in making this whole thing. I'm gonna go hop off and go put this all on so that you can see it in detail and movement and all that stuff. But yeah, I'll be right back. Okay, here I am in my Flayn cosplay. It's so cute. Oh, I know you can only see the top right now, but like, look at all of this. And like, it feels so cute. Okay, I'm gonna make it so you can actually see the whole cosplay, and then I'll talk about this. Yeah, mostly it's in there. Here is my whole Flayn cosplay on. I feel so happy wearing this. I feel so cute. I feel like very confident wearing this. It's not like, even in cosplays that I like, that are from some of those online stores, you don't feel confident wearing it because you're like, oh, what if something breaks? What if something falls off? What if something falls apart? Or like you kind of have these worries in your head. With this, I just feel fully confident, good wearing this. I don't feel anything bad. I don't feel anything's in danger of breaking or falling off or anything. At Katsucon, the only like minor cosplay thing, like issue I had was when I kept putting my backpack on, I kept undoing the snaps on the bow on the back. But that's just like a thing of wearing things, and when I put my backpack on, I kept pulling it from that side, so it was like pulling the bow with it. But that was just like, oh, snap, it's fixed. Like that's not really a problem or anything. That's more like just things happen when you're wearing stuff. Let me give you a skirt twirl. Isn't that like precious? Just as precious as plain. And like I said, I kind of went over all the detail stuff already, but I like to show things being worn, show it off, and like how it moves. Like just a little twirl of the skirt is so, like I love the way this moves. And then the bow on the back, I love that so much. I'm also going to, oh, oops, didn't realize my face wasn't in there when I walked forward. I'm also going to include some clips from Katsucon filmed by Mizu no Shumi. They are a really cool like photographer, videographer person. They came to Katsucon all the way from France, and they included me in their cosplay music video for Katsucon this year in this cosplay, and they sent me some of the footage from that. So I'm going to include those clips here too, so you can see like some much higher quality compared to my videos of me wearing this cosplay, and also more full body than I can get, more like detail shots than I can get also. I really loved those videos that Mizu no Shumi took of me in my Flayn cosplay, and please be sure to go check out their Katsucon cosplay music video. I'll link it up in the thingies so you can go check out that video. I'll put it in the description too, because that was really cool to see like all of the cosplayers that were at the convention this year. I again want to say, like, if you have the like time and money and resources to be able to commission a cosplayer to make your cosplays, please do that. Like, over any cosplay store I've ever recommended, I would always recommend a commission. It's just so much better, and like I feel like this will last much longer too than anything that like cheaply made thing that could eventually fall apart and break and stuff. Like this just, it's so high quality. It fits perfectly. It's made just for me. It's just, it feels so special to wear something like this. And not only do I want to recommend just commissioning cosplays in general as like a general thing more people should be doing, but I also want to like recommend Violet specifically because of how well this specific costume is made and how I had such an amazing, incredible experience working with them to bring this cosplay to life. So please go support more of Violet's work, whether that's through a cosplay commission yourself or just following them on social media, checking out their stuff. Like, please go show Violet the love that they deserve for this. Thank you so much for checking out this video. If you haven't yet, please go check out my Katsucon vlogs. It's a 2-part series of like my whole weekend at Katsucon this year, where you can see lots more of this cosplay specifically and lots more Fire Emblem in general. There's a lot of stuff that was really good there. And thanks for stopping by. I will see you in my next video. Bye! If this is the first of my videos that you've ever watched, hi, my name is Aesthel. I'm a cosplayer. I'm also part of the team at Cosplay Realm magazine, a monthly internationally published cosplay and pop culture magazine. I upload to my video every single week, mostly cosplay content. If you guys would like to see more cosplay content, please be sure to subscribe and hit the like button. That stuff really helps me out. I have so much fun content planned for the next month, and I just can't wait for you guys to all see it. If you'd like to follow me anywhere else, I'm also on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and Facebook. You can also find me on Patreon to get early access to all of my videos and a bunch of other content. And with that, I just really want to thank you again for checking out my video and my channel, and I'll see you next time. Bye!